Good morning and welcome to UUCC, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Canada. We are a group of spiritual freethinkers who gather to celebrate life, build community, and better the world. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. I'm Karen Alvarez, your worship associate for this morning, and the service today will be led by our minister, the Reverend Cindy Terlazzo. Thank you to everyone on this morning's worship team, including music by Bill Mells. This will be a multi-generational service and will involve a ritual of remembrance. You will be invited to bring photos and/or small tokens to place upon our table of remembrance after Bill rings the chimes. If this is your first visit, welcome. We invite you to sign the visitor's book in the entryway. And whether it's your first visit or your 1,000th, we are glad you came. This service is also being live streamed to our YouTube channel. We will plan on continuing with hybrid services, so you can join us each week here in person, on Zoom, or later on YouTube. To help us connect better with our friends watching from home, please turn around and give a wave to the camera. At the end of the service, we will invite our friends on Zoom to turn their cameras and wave back. I have a few announcements to share with you today. If you have a joy or sorrow to share, please fill out the card on or near your chair. We invite you to bring them forward and place them in the basket after Bill rings the chimes and begins to play. You can also come forward to drop a pebble in the water if you have a joy or sorrow that you'd prefer not to share. Thank you to everyone who invited friends, helped set up and clean up, or hosted a trunk for our annual trunk or treat yesterday. It was a lot of fun, even though it did rain a little bit. Please join us after the service today for our monthly social and environmental justice meeting. We'll gather at the front of the room and also have a breakout room available on Zoom. Let us know in the chat if you'd like to be added to that room when the meeting starts. Next Sunday, November 2nd, will be an animal blessing service. Stuffed animals and pets who do well in groups are welcome to attend. Photos of the shy, tricky to transport, or pets from your past are encouraged. Emma's Revolution is playing at May Memorial Universalist Society on Thursday, October 30th at 7 p.m. Tickets are available online. Are there any other announcements for the good of the community?
Poppy's here to remind you to keep making your crafts for our handmade holiday sale, and we're gonna do BYO craft again next potluck, which I don't remember the date, but it's the second Sunday.
As we prepare to be fully together, I remind you to silence your phones and devices. We now enter a space of worship, and now is the time to bring forward any joys or sorrows or come up and drop a pebble. Benson, are you going to help today? I know you were busy. I invite you to join with me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of our life we share together. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the chilliness of the year. I got to scrape ice off my windshields for the first time this season. So you may notice that there is some leaves spread around on the chairs. There's a few more up here. We'll have a ritual later in the service. So if there are people that are dear to your heart that are you want to remember in this ceremony, you can write their names on the back of the leaves, and there'll be an opportunity later where you can come up and hang them on the tree. Our opening words this morning are by Elizabeth M. Strong. We know the leaves are dying. We know that their blaze of beauty is a preparation for death. It's a time when we appreciate the effort of nature to rise above the ordinariness of life and death. It's a time when we visibly comprehend glory and wonder. And in knowing this, we give thanks. We feel now that the air is cold and crisp. We feel now a clearing from the skies of the heaviness of the hazes of summer. It's a time when we appreciate the crispness and sharpness of the realities of life and death. It's a time when we physically comprehend the relief that clarity and insight can bring. And in knowing this, we give thanks. We hear now the dry rustle of plants and grasses. We hear now a crackling from the earth that tells of the withering of the fullness of summer. It's a time when we appreciate the approaching rest from the frantic fullness. It's a time when we hear a different voice within and know that life is settling down for a well-deserved wintering. As we enter into worship together, let it be so within each of our lives as we prepare for an autumn in our own life cycle. For we all need rest and respite if we are to understand and appreciate the rhythm of life in our soul that enables us to live our lives with thanks and gratitude. And you're invited now to rise in body and or spirit to sing hymn 86 in the gray hymnal, Blessed Spirit of My Life. So our story today is one you may be familiar with. It's the Fall of Freddie the Leaf, taken from a book written by Leo Buscaglia. So this is the story. Spring came. Freddie the Leaf was born on a branch of a tall tree along with hundreds of other leaves. Together they danced in the breeze and played in the sun. Now, Daniel was the largest leaf and Freddie's best friend. He explained to Freddie that they were a part of a tree in a park. And he told Freddie about birds, the sun, and the moon. Freddie loved being a leaf. In the summer, many people came to the park. "Let's give them all some shade," said Daniel. "Making people happy is part of our purpose in life." Older people sat under the tree and talked. Children ran around and laughed, and it was so much fun to watch them. Summer passed, and fall came. The leaves turned red and yellow. They were all so beautiful. One day, some of the leaves were blown off by a strong wind. The leaves became frightened and said, "What's happening?" Daniel said, "It's time for the leaves to change their home. Some people call it dying." "Will we all die?" Freddie asked. "Yes," Daniel answered. "Everything dies." "I won't die," said Freddie. But he saw that his friends started to fall one after another. Soon the leaf was almost bare, or the tree was almost bare. Freddie said, "But I'm afraid of dying." Daniel tried to comfort him, saying, "We're all afraid of things that we don't know. But you were not afraid when spring became summer or when summer became fall. Changes are natural. They're part of life." "Will we return in the spring?" Freddie asked. "I don't know," Daniel said, "but life will. Life lasts forever, and we are a part of it." "But if we only fall and die, why are we here?" Freddie asked again. Daniel said, "For the friends, for the sun and the shade. Remember the breeze, the people, and all the colors in fall? Isn't that enough?" That afternoon, Daniel fell with a smile. Freddie was the only leaf left on the tree. The first snow fell the next morning. The wind came and took Freddie from his branch. You know, it didn't hurt at all. As he fell, he saw the whole tree for the first time. He remembered Daniel's words, "Life lasts forever." Freddie landed on the soft snow. He closed his eyes and went to sleep. In the tree and the ground, there were already plans for new leaves that next spring. So a cycle that has been a part of creation from the very beginning. We are part of this process. And now, another part of the process of this delightful congregation is the opportunity to show our gratitude through our offering.
Now is the time in our service to join together in the spiritual practice of generosity. Our gifts of both time and money support our church in its work. Each week, we would like to spotlight a group or committee and thank them for their gift of time. This week, the group is fundraising. People interested in finding out more can contact Abby Heller-Geiger or me. And just as a side note, we also do things like trick or treat and the egg hunt, so it's not just dreaming up things that we can make money on. There's also a big community connection there too. 1/4 of our plate collection for the harvest season will go to our service partner, Finger Lakes Justice Partnership. Finger Lakes Justice Partnership helps weave together the efforts of the region's diverse justice-seeking individuals, organizations, and institutions. Through advocacy for members of historically marginalized groups of all kinds, they work to move the Finger Lakes away from passive acquiescence to injustice and toward an active embrace of anti-racism, community building, mutual aid, and understanding. You can give to this morning's offering by placing cash or a check into the basket or by one of the options on your screen. Please make a note that your gift is intended for today's offering. We now gratefully accept the offering.
One of the gifts of being in community together is sharing those things that rest on our hearts that really need to be shared, whether they are delights or whether they're struggles. This is a place where we can bring those events and share them with one another and increase the delight in a joy that we might have, or bolster one another by sharing our concerns. So some that we have today from Michelle. My birthday is on October 31st, so happy birthday, Michelle. And do you like Halloween? From Jody, there's a joy for attending the New York State Universalist Convention conference this weekend. Meeting with UUA President, Reverend Dr. Sophia Benencourt, and she noted that Reverend Cindy became a member of that board, so there we go. From Abby and Poppy, another joy, a big joy for our community with the trunk or treat, so that was a success for Poppy. And from Bill, this is a sorrow. Elaine Cook called Bill to let him know that a longtime member, Don Cook, passed away last Sunday. The funeral will be this Thursday, I believe at noon, at the Doherty Funeral Home, and arrangements are being made for that. So if you could reach out to Elaine, I'm sure that she would appreciate being held in your care. So let's just take a breath to breathe together, breathe in those many joys, and to also carry Elaine and all those who have tenderness in their hearts. So let's just breathe together, in and out. And I share these words by Leslie Takahashi. In the daily weave of our lives, those who have died are still strong, guiding threads. Theirs is the golden glimmer, or perhaps the brilliant red or the melancholy blue. They are part of the whole cloth of our lives. They are the ancestors, the goers before. Through this, we know immortality. In the hour-to-hour rush of our daily tasks, they travel with us through something they taught us, which is now ours to do. through something they loved, which is now ours to carry out, through something we shared, which is now ours alone, and yet not. Through this we know immortality. In the minute-to-minute grasp of where we are, we remember the joys of our departed, those things that they gave us, which opened us up to hope, the sorrows we knew together, which taught us strength, the life shared, which is now ours to steward. And through this, we know immortality. In the second-to-second pulse of life, we sense the spirit of those we have loved and lost. This presence is too shy for naming sometimes, too amorphous for full knowing, and yet as real as the days that were shared. Through all of this, we know immortality. Those who have gone before are more than remembered. They are memory itself. For what we love lives on in the way that our beloved dead accompany us through life, through their words and wisdom. They become our guide, their humor our relief, their restless concern for the world our charge. Through all of this, we know immortality. And again, breathe in, breathe out. To our visitors, hymn 123. Well, we can see all around us that this is the time of year, this autumn of the year, is a time when the life cycle of the world is really present. It's a time when many traditions believe that the veil between the living and the dead is thinner. It's a time which invites us to think about all who have come before us, to honor their memory and recognize the cycles of life of which every single one of us is a part. So we're going to take a moment to honor the ancestors of this church. There are some of us that are still very much among us, some who have passed on. So take a moment and think about all of those people who came together to create a home for liberal religion here in Canandaigua, New York. You know, these are the ones who worked to raise money for a building. They're the ones who sat in probably many committee meetings. They created bylaws. These are the people who chopped and marinated and baked for potlucks. They are the people who painted and weeded and pounded nails and washed countless dishes. These are the folks who gathered to worship, to learn, to grieve, to heal, to serve, to build justice, to transform their lives and this world. Each one of us are the recipients of an incredible gift and a beautiful vision. So think about that. Think about everything that we might take for granted walking in the doors here. There were people who had a vision and they wanted something to become alive and thrive in this part of the world. You all are very much a part of this for sure, but there are those initial people who came together and said, let's make this happen. Let's do our part to keep this congregation strong and vital and thriving for generations to come. And let's remember those who came before with joy and gratitude. So, what we get to do now, I'm inviting you to call out the names of those who were the founders of this congregation. And I think I know someone very dear here. Carl was very instrumental, right? And Maureen. Maureen very much alive and a part of this thriving community now. So shout out some other names of people who were here from the start. Bill and Pat, yes. And I don't know Lewis Scott, but since there's a little stained glass, I'm guessing Lewis was a vital part of the creation of this place. Who else? What are their names?
Naomi, his wife.
Naomi? And Jeff and Dorothy, I think you've spent more than a few years here. Who else?
Shelley Page.
Shelley Page?
Ralph Mann.
Ralph Mann?
Lynn and Aaron Overgaard.
Yes. Lynn? Overgaard? Oh, right here. And I'm still getting to know all of your faces and names to match them up. So those who have helped to make this place happen, that we are now the recipients of, let us give thanks for their vision and all of the endless work that they put into making this happen. So let's also take some time to name others who lived their lives on the world stage. Artists, leaders, healers, peacemakers, and more. People that we probably didn't know personally, maybe you did, but whose lives impacted the world. People who have touched your life in some meaningful way. So who are the ancestors who have lifted us up in a major way? I mean, I think about Diane Keaton. She's somebody who passed recently. Martin Luther King Jr. Who else? Who else touched your life? What was that?
Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah. Susan B. Anthony.
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall, yeah. Mahatma Gandhi. Frederick Douglass. John Lennon. Lots and lots of people. There are so many people that have passed through this experience of what it means to be human, leaving their gifts resonate deeply with us. We've named a few people who we have mourned together as a local church community and as a broader world community. But I know that there are many more people that we have lost individually and personally. Many of us have lost parents, grandparents, siblings, close friends, family, human and animal. There are pets that have been companions to many of us who we have loved deeply. All of these are a part of a wide, interconnected web of loss. And we may not be able to offer a eulogy for each of these dear ones today, but we can say their names. And in speaking their names, we remember them, how they have impacted our lives, and we can share our love for them with each other. So now I invite you to name those who are a part of your personal life, who have passed, and just say their name. I'm sure there are many people.
Jeff Cross.
Yeah,
Doug Down.
yeah,
This spot.
yeah. Just remember them. Yeah,
Carol Lee.
yeah. Hold their presence, their importance in your heart. They were an active part of your life. They continue to be an active part of your life by the love that you hold for them. There are so many beings that have touched our individual and collective lives, so many beings to remember and give thanks for having been a part of our lives. So, in a few moments, you will be invited to come to this table of memory that's here before us to say the name. Again, you can say it silently within your heart. You can say it out loud if you like. And you're invited, there's a little bowl of salt up here. You're invited to take a pinch of salt and put it into the bowl of water. And just hold the remembrance of these people in your heart as you come forward. So, this bit of salt are a remembrance of the tears that we cry in our loss, our love, our grief. They're a release of pressure. We often feel better after we've shed tears, and we hope that through today's tears we can experience the healing that we may need through this symbolic act. Once salt dissolves in the water, we can't see it anymore, but it's still with us in some ways. And in other ways, it's gone. Just like those loved ones that we carry in our hearts, even though we may not be able to see them physically, their presence remained very much alive within our hearts. So when you're ready, Bill's going to just play some ambient music while you come forward, come to this table, this community of remembrance and love. And for those that are joining us by Zoom from your homes today, if are those that you would like us to honor in this fashion, please put it in the chat and we'll put their name on one of the leaves and just, fill this tree of remembrance with your leaves. And this is also the time for you to bring your leaves up if you would like to put them on the tree. So, as you're ready.
as when on earth they walked with me and met me face to face, and met me face to face. Their lives are made forever mine. What they to me have been has left henceforth its seal and sign, engraven deep within, engraven deep within. Mine are they by an ownership, not time nor death and free. For God has given us love to keep our own eternally. Our own eternally.
Rituals can be so powerful because they allow us to embody feelings that may be difficult to articulate to ourselves. So look at the beauty of the love that we collectively have experienced over the course of our lives. And this is only a small representation. We've each been touched by so many beings in so many ways. And Freddie's, John's, Jeff's, Gloria's, Mary's, all of those who have gone before, taking their time in the spring of life, the summer of life, the autumn of life, the leaves falling. That's what creates the rich soil, the nourishment that we get to bring into our own lives to help us thrive and grow. This is such a natural process, and our tears, our grieving, our love is all part of the process of what it means to be human. So taking time to honor them, to remember them, to think about our own mortality, think about the people, the pets, the experiences of this life, and to give thanks for it all, to give thanks for it all. May we remember each of these precious beings with love, and may this memory be a blessing to the world. I have some other words that were inspired by Andrea Hawkins Camper. We have gathered in this space, in this time, when the wheel turns and the veil shatters. We have gathered to remember, to grieve, to prophesy, to complete our harvest before the long dark comes. We have gathered to recall old stories in our hearts, to sing our songs of remembrance, to be as we have always been, the voice of our people eternal. We have gathered to celebrate that which was, that which is, and that which will be. Gathered together as we have always done, united by story, bound by love. As you leave today, go forth held in that sense of eternal love. And we will close with music, hymn number 306, Sing of Living, Sing of Dying. You're welcome to rise in body and or spirit.
If you're joining us on Zoom, now is the time to turn your camera on if you would like to wave goodbye. Please join me in our words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.